Everybody for coming, and especially you, Congressman Welch. I think it shows a lot of courage and a lot of dignity, and we really appreciate it. When we began occupying congressional offices in the spring, we were doing so to try to start a dialogue with the congressmen and senators and to support a nationwide occupation project that was going on in several parts of the country at the time. In addition, we were trying to dramatize to the general public how desperate the situations in Iraq and Afghanistan really are. We felt that if we occupied the 3 congressional offices, it might wake folks up, and if we got arrested, that would be okay too, because we wanted to force the local media to cover the wars and remind voters that innocent civilians are being killed every day in Iraq and displaced from their homes, and literally innocent soldiers and sailors and Marines are being killed every day. We know that to the public it looks like Congress is in gridlock and that only Republican help to override Bush's vetoes of war timelines, withdrawal plans, and troop cutbacks will break the logjam. Unfortunately, that is an illusion that the Democratic leadership tries to promote. Many in Congress on both sides of the aisle are not anti-war. In fact, there are only about 70 or so congressmen who regularly vote against the war or war appropriations. So the likelihood of resolving this in Congress is not great. That doesn't mean work can't be done there, just may not be in the front line of stopping the war. But it is the only front line for introducing bills to cut off funding and to hold hearings on the war and its motives. Many in this room thought that you were our best hope of taking a strident anti-war message to Washington from Vermont, where more than 80% are opposed to the war. So when we began to occupy offices, yours was chosen first, because we thought we could have an impact on you, on how you voted for war appropriations and other Middle Eastern issues. Clearly, some of your votes have puzzled and even incensed some of us. Other votes you have taken we applaud, as you can see in the fact sheet we prepared. So the honeymoon is over with this new democratically controlled Congress. We're not under any illusion that they're going to stop the war. But as my comments and the other comments you hear today will stress, we need to look at how we can stop the war by working together. These are desperate times for the United States in more ways than one, not just the war, but warming and a host of other issues that we have to address almost immediately. We don't have endless time to sit in congressional offices and beg for an audience or answers to our legitimate concerns. We too have important work to do, just like your office staff. We have work to do on our farms, at our jobs, with our families, stopping global warming and advocating for social justice. We know you're trying to work on those issues too. That's why we're asking you to be a partner both within Congress and on the streets at demonstrations. During the war and during Iran-Contra, legislators finally made those wars more difficult to prosecute by bills they introduced and actions they took by appearing with us and speaking out at demonstrations. Many of us were in all those demonstrations. And we saluted all those congressional people when they came. It's that kind of partnership that we're willing to get arrested for and go to jail if need be. We hope this day proves to be productive. Thank you all for attending.